Welcome to On the Record with Kevin and Tiffany on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, home of conservative talk radio. And today we have with us Reginald Brumman Ballard and my lovely co-host, Tiffany Jones Smith.
And it's On the Record with Tiffany and Kevin, not the other way around. You always do.
It is straight.
Why does he always want top billing, Reginald? Huh?
I already know that. Hey, that billing means something. Your agent fights for that second billing, first billing. That's a struggle. You want single card. You don't want to be on there with like Tiffany, Kevin, Reggie. No, Tiffany, then next Reggie, Kevin.
That's right. That's how it's supposed to go.
I love it.
Right.
I love it.
Single card, first name.
Yeah, okay, everybody hears that, right? I'm going to have to start saying Tiffany and Kevin. Not the other way around.
I heard my agent one time, but my agent was fighting one day, man, of the producers. They said, no, he wanted to be single card, Reginald Ballard, no other person on the name. Like, so when you see that on the movies, you see like one person's name on there, they fought for that. So when you see like the next names like James Earl Jones, Denzel, and blah blah blah, they got three on one card, so they fight for that stuff. It's like it ain't that's just not by coincidence.
That is interesting.
You just got grandfathered in. You didn't even, and you put yourself at the front.
I jumped to the front of the bus, baby. Hey, as everybody knows, one of our big things is that we believe that we should go out into the community and advocate for ourselves, and along the way we build coalitions of people, and so that as we better our group, we also end up having to better other people because we have to build coalitions. And our thing is Tiffany serves as the CEO of the Texas Kidney Foundation, and also serve on the board as well. And so we've been working with Reginald because he is our kidney ambassador, and he's been gracious with us with his time and lending us his name and everything to advance the cause to advance information and knowledge for kidney disease for patients. And so one of the things since 2014, just an interesting factoid, is that the number of people receiving a living donation of a kidney has fallen off, right? It's fallen off for Black people. It's fallen off for brown people quite dramatically. And so we wanted to get Reggie on and talk about life on dialysis and then life after a transplant. And there's a big substantial difference. Anything you want to add there, Tiffany?
A significant statistic on that is that less than 20% of the people who qualify to be worked up for a kidney transplant, less than 20% of the people that qualify actually get worked up. So 80% of the people who should be primed and ready for a kidney transplant aren't. They haven't received any of the information, and that's one of our main reasons. I know that's a major cause and very close to Reginald's heart, and it is to mine too, because it's life-changing to have a kidney transplant. Reg, what do you have to say about it?
Oh yeah, it is a major change. It's like night and day, man. Sometimes you forget how you're supposed to feel in life. It's like, you're not supposed to have pain when you walk around every day. You're not supposed to have people think, well, I'm getting old or this. No, it's not supposed to be pain. You're not supposed to have, discomfort. And you kind of forget sometimes that you are in this kind of discomfort. And then, once you go through the process of like dialysis and stuff, you start saying, wow, man, oh, this is how I used to feel when I felt good. And when you get a kidney transplant, it's like, wow, this is how I used to feel, and because your brain could trick yourself into thinking that, discomfort is normal, it's a normal process, so your mind starts making you think that, okay, I'm supposed to be like this. I just, if I do this and do this, just don't do that no more. One time I remember I had a high school coach who said, you went to the doctor and say, doc, it hurts. When I do this, the doctor said, well, then don't do that. So you start thinking that, okay, if I move over here, I know this hurts, so I ain't gonna do that no more. I ain't gonna do that, or I ain't gonna do this. But you are supposed to do the things that you used to do 4 or 5 years ago. But now, when you had this situation with kidneys, man, it affects a whole lot of things. And once you get that transplant, you understand that, hey, wow, I feel back normal again. I can go do this now. I can go do that now.
Yeah.
Talk about the adjustment, because that is what people do. You adjust to whatever the circumstance is.
That's right.
People act like poor people or black people or whatever, anybody that's suffering from a chronic illness, like they're just lazy. Oh, they just don't don't care about themselves in the same way everybody else does. No, that's not true.
It's not. And then, being on dialysis, that's a whole nother ball game. It's you're talking about time consuming, you're talking about missed vacations, you're talking about, missed time spending with family and going places that you want to go, doing things you want to do because you're giving up 12 hours a week of your life. Sitting in the chair.
4 hours a day, 3 days a week.
Yeah, 4 hours, man. Sometimes, you have to go. I think I had to do like 4.5 or something like that, because there's a difference when they put the catheter in your chest versus in your arm. So in your chest, it takes a little bit more time. So I had to sit there because, like, chest is a temporary thing because they know you're about to get a transplant status. So when you go on the first time, they'll say, okay, well, you have a kidney person that's going to donate. So we'll just put a catheter, put the thing here, and usually lasts like 6 months. But when they put it in your arm, it's like a long-term process. So I had to sit in the chair a little bit longer. Then I used to see the other cats getting out 4 hours. I'm still sitting there, 4.5, 4 hours and 45 minutes, But, it's a fact. The thing about dialysis is, people be drained after. I didn't have that effect, though. On me, I was energized. I was like, wow. So I used to, right after I get out, I'd go play golf, And people like, how you do that, man? But then I had a crash later on at night, later on in the evening. I'm like, wow, I'm exhausted now. But, hey, man, it's a process, just sitting in a chair and you see your life going through a tube in front of you. It's like you see the blood, this in a tube, and that's your lifeline. Like, what if, I live in California, like, what if an earthquake happened, or what if somebody coming in and just cut my line? So it's like I'm looking at my lifeline outside of my body, man. You know what I mean? And it can get real. You can become real, just down and depressed because this process. That's the only thing that's keeping you alive is a machine.
And there are high rates of depression with dialysis.
Yeah.
So when I see dialysis units, it really gets to me because we in this country we can put $1 trillion into a war, and yet we have chronic illnesses like kidney disease and other illnesses, and we aren't putting the money into early detection protocols in hospitals, early detection protocols in clinics with clinicians. We could change this so that we don't see 80% of the people that go into renal failure don't have to go into renal failure. We literally could change it with early detection, with therapeutics that we have right now, SGLT2Is. We could change chronic kidney disease.
But but here's the thing too, Tiffany. Reggie and I were talking this before we started recording. Was that you and I have been dealing this week with scientists, right? And it's not my favorite group of people to deal with. And so, but we have the technology that can work. We have the medication. Transplantation is in and of itself a miracle. Like I'm always amazed that you could take somebody else's organ, put it into somebody else, sew it up, and it'll work.
Mm-hmm. And connect all of those tiny blood vessels. I mean, it's phenomenal that the surgeons can do what they can do.
And so we have solutions, right? But I feel that dialysis should be a temporary solution as sort of a stopgap to get someone else where they belong, right? If they go into kidney failure, right? And I think there are a lot of things that can be done even before you get to kidney failure, right? As you just become aware of what your kidney numbers are. And there's a lot of things in terms of protocol that, Tiffany referenced that are out there. They're in the scientific literature. The scientific community is aware of it. The medical community is aware of it, right? But, as in life, like some people do it well, some people don't, right? So that's the part that's very frustrating to me is that people go through these things, right? And that tends to be the norm. And that just drives me crazy. That's just me going off.
A lot, and that's why we're here. That's how we hooked up with Reggie. That's why, because the three of us are powerful when it comes down to understanding this and being able to talk to people about it.
Mm-hmm. Everybody have been through it, so I'm a living witness right here. And I'm gonna tell you, you could do anything to slow the process of your kidney deteriorating on you. If you can slow that process down and reverse your lifestyle, your eating habits and the things that you do, I'm telling you, it'll benefit because you don't want to have to do the dialysis. I remember when I went to my doctor the first time. Well, it wasn't the first time. I went to him, and he had this dialysis place right on site as his office, right next to his office. So he took me by the room. He said, "Man, you got to take a little bit better care, man." And he said, because he took me, said, "You don't want to be in there." And I seen the chairs, man. And for some reason, I knew that was in my future, So eventually, it was. But you deal with things. You deal with it. You say, okay, well, this is what I have to do to get better. Mm-hmm. And I have to sit here for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I have to sit here and do what I have to do. And it worked out, man. It worked out. I mean, things have a tendency of working themselves out. So, it helped me. And then once I got the kidney, it was crazy because right after I got the kidney transplant, they was taking me back to my room, and I was waking up out of the anesthesia. I was like, yo, I got to pee. I got to pee. They say, no, don't worry about it. You don't have to pee. It's just the catheter up in you. I say, no, man, I got to pee. They say, yeah, you peeing now. And it's like, that sensation I didn't have in a long time, because, when you're going through that, you don't have to, urinate. And it felt good just to have that feeling back again, man. It didn't, I didn't think I was peeing enough. I say, man, it's working, man. I was in the hospital. I was like, man, I kept looking at the bag. I'm like, dang, it's not working. They said, well, it take a while for it to wake up. Take a while because my kidney came from the East Coast. So it take a while for it to wake up. And I was like, man, it's not working. It's not working. So I had to, when I came home and stuff, you have to measure your urine. So I used to pee, and then, man, I was like, I just peeing a little. And then all of a sudden, dude, I was like filling up some things, and had to record each milliliter, how much you pee. I was peeing so much. And it was funny. So when you go into the doctor, for your checkups every week, you have to bring the chart of how much urine that you urinated. And so I was bringing the chart, and the doctor would say, yeah, man, don't be like this one guy. This one guy brought all of the urinals with him to show us how much he had like 5 boxes. And said, no, we don't want to see that. Just write it down.
I don't know if we should end this segment on that. I love it.
That's what it was, man. He was like bringing boxes of his own urine to the hospital every week. They say, no.
You always have that one guy, right, who goes overboard.
I used to have to keep it with me in the car, man, because, you know, I wasn't control. It's like, yo, man, I have to go now. I have to go now. I wasn't used to that. You know, that's like, yo, I have to go now. You know, and now like every morning at 3:00, man, and every morning never till 3 a.m. I have to get up to go pee. Because I always said that, you know, by my kidney coming from the East Coast, it wakes up earlier on the West Coast.
All right. That's
like, like 6 o'clock on the East is already used to being up. I'm still asleep at 3 o'clock. I got to get up.
That is hilarious. And you've been listening to On the Record with Tiffany and Kevin and our special guest, Reginald Brubman Ballard on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.